CMF.
Uncle Raj.
Sir.
Thank you for that last tune.
Yeah, no problem.
By The Who.
Roger McCall, better known as Uncle Raj, was the overnight voice on WCMF radio for nearly 30 years. That voice went silent nearly 9 years ago when McCall was shot to death on Rochester's west side. His murder is now considered a cold case.
I don't think the pain ever really goes away. I think it dulls. But there'll always be a part of me that's you know, empty and hurt on the inside.
For the most part, Jason McCall and his mother Denise have moved on and are at peace with what happened. They believe the person who killed Roger will someday be brought to justice.
It's been a whole kind of a spiritual process for me to look at things differently. It's not that I guess I do feel bad for him, kind of, and I have forgiven. So I don't know if that's wrong on my part, but that's just the way I feel.
McCall was shot just before 6 p.m. on December 12, 2003, outside 39 Madison Street. And after 8.5 years, police say there are no new leads. To this day, all police know is that McCall was shot and later died. They have no idea who was responsible or what the motive may have been.
The very basic assumption is it may have been a street robbery, but by no means is that a conclusion. You know, through a lot of our investigations, sometimes we get a direction or we get some bit of street intelligence that leads us in the right direction or a possible direction. In this case, it's what we call a whodunit. We honestly don't have any specific direction in it, so difficult case.
The shooting happened outside Jason's home. Before he died, Roger gave his son a description of the shooter, but Jason says it was very generic.
A young African-American youth in a hoodie. Like, you know, that's not a very good, you know, it's what do you do, you know? What do you do? I can fit that description on certain days, depending on how cold it is, you know? I've been that description before, you know?
Police say the weather that night impacted their investigation, making it difficult to collect evidence.
We had like a lake effect squall that rolled in, and for about 30 minutes it dumped like 2 inches of snow on the crime scene after it happened and before we could get started. So that was a hindrance right from the beginning. There was you know, quick snowfall and it covered everything and it made it difficult. It was just one of the other hurdles that we had, in this case, right from the beginning.
Even though the Madison Street neighborhood has changed over the years, police are hopeful that someone will remember something from that night and will come forward with information.
I didn't believe he had died when we were at the hospital. I had to see him.